Hello, you just finished watching a video called Lines by Scratch Garden. That's one of my favorite videos to show kindergarten art students when we are learning about kinds of line. We just learned about 10 different kinds of line. Horizontal, lines that go across. Vertical, lines that go up and down or down and up. There's two kinds of diagonal lines we learned about. Lines that go down to up or up to down. We learned about curvy lines. A curved line is not a straight line, and it can either be like a bumpy line like this one, or it could just be a big curve. We learned about wavy lines, so a line that looks like an S kind of looks like a snake or a worm. We learned about broken lines. A broken line is a line and it looks like somebody took a pair of scissors and cut it up into pieces. So it's a line made up of lines. See how there's more than one line that makes up this line. You could also make a broken line of dots. We learned about zigzag lines. So a line that kind of looks like the letter Z or kind of looks like the letter N or M or W. A spiral. So a line that kind of looks like a snail shell. It curls into itself, or it could curl out of itself. And the last one that they talked about was a fancy free line. So a fancy free line is whatever kind of line you want to make. We are going to create an artwork that kind of looks like this one. So we're going to use all 10 of these lines to make one beautiful picture. Then we're going to color in all the spaces. I drew more than 10 lines on my paper. We're only going to work on these 10 kinds of lines, and then we're going to have fewer spaces to color in. Before we get started, we need to get a few things. We're going to need a piece of paper to draw on. Either a black marker or a black crayon would work. And then a box of crayons to color in our spaces. So let's get started. I have all of the line types here so that I can remember which ones I still need to include in my picture. I'm going to start with horizontal. So a horizontal line goes across the paper. You don't have to make your picture look exactly like mine. You can place your lines anywhere you want to on your picture. That will make it more interesting when we share our artwork with each other during our Zoom meeting. Then we'll have a bunch of different artworks to look at instead of a bunch of artworks that all look the same. So I already completed my horizontal line. I'm going to remove it. I'm going to move on to my vertical line. I think I'm going to put my vertical line here, starting on this line, just going straight down. Like I said, you can put your lines anywhere you want to on your paper. I'm just looking to make sure you have all 10 of these. So my two diagonal lines. Diagonal lines go down to up or up to down. Put one here. Then I think I'll put the other one right here. Make a big triangle, two triangles with my diagonal line. So I'm done with those. Let's go with curvy. So curvy line is different from the ones I just made. A curvy line has a curve or a bump, kind of looks like the letter C. So I think I'm going to put a curve right here. Kind of looks like a sunrise or a sunset. A zigzag line. So this one is going across the paper. I'm going to make a zigzag line going down. What's next? Let's go with a wavy line. I think I'll put a wavy line right next to this diagonal line I made. Spiral. So a spiral can grow in or grow out. This spot's kind of empty. I think I'll put it right here. So it's sort of like you're drawing a circle, but you keep making your line bigger and bigger and bigger. Alright, broken line. So a line that's like a bunch of dots or a bunch of lines. This space is a little bit empty. I think I will put a broken line in here, and I'm going to actually make a wavy broken line. So your broken line doesn't have to be a perfectly straight line. It could be one that dances around a little bit. Now, a fancy free line, I can make up whatever kind of line I want to. You do not have to draw the same kind of line that I'm about to draw. So whatever kind of line you fancy, you can draw. So this shape that I drew kind of reminded me of a sun. So I'm making a fancy free line. It kind of looks like the rays of a sun. Okay. So now I'm ready to color. I have my 10 lines. I'm going to fast forward this video a little bit. You can watch me color and it won't take 10 minutes. So as I finished coloring my picture, I had a few thoughts I wanted to share. Make sure you're coloring in all of the spaces. Make sure you're coloring your best. So don't be sloppy. Show me what you can do. And some of the coloring might feel a little bit painful in your hand. Since I'm an adult, my hands are a little bit stronger than yours, so I could color this all at once. But if your hands are starting to hurt, maybe take a little break, do something else for a little while, and come back to coloring later. Because asking you to color a whole piece of paper is kind of a big job. So if you need to take a little break to finish coloring, that is okay. So I'm just about finished. I'm coloring in the last few spaces. I have a few empty spaces that I'm trying to color in. But I filled up the whole piece of paper except this little part. I'm going to write my name here. So even though we're working from home right now, we should still get in the habit of putting our name on our paper, because someday you will return to school, and that's something that all of your teachers are going to ask of you. So put your name on your paper. When I see you during our Zoom meeting on Monday, you can show me your artwork. I can read your name on it, and that will help me learn your name. So draw 10 lines, color in all the spaces, do an excellent job, put your name on your paper, and then lastly, don't forget to put away your art supply. So I'm going to do that right now, and if you have any questions, you can ask me in an email or put a message on Google Classroom. Have fun!